So, welcome to this week's 0 Hours Reads Tweets He Likes. I don't think this is going to be a weekly thing, by the way. This is just something I'm doing because I'm very bored. But I did want to read out some tweets that aligned a little bit with what I had been writing about on my blog, which is that I think Marxists have gone very astray into the philosophical netherworld, and I wrote a blog about how they should try to explain certain topics not in high concept ways, but in a very grounded, simplified manner. For example, I used Comrade J.U.'s infamous saying of communism is free time and nothing else. It's provocative, and it's meant to be provocative. It was just a way of illustrating that there is a way to simplify these things, and then through that simplicity, you can sort of build upon it. I'm not saying you shouldn't engage in philosophy if it brings you joy. I'm not going to tell you not to read philosophy. I have veered away from it from my 20s, now in my late 30s, more into economics and history, and more specifically the economics and history of things that are interesting to me that I think are most applicable to what's happening now. So the history of American fascism over the last 100 years, and more specifically, the political economy of fascism, which has a Marxian side to it, but it also has a bourgeois side to it. So the Marxian side explains why it occurred, and the bourgeois side it attempts to explain how they manage it through the state. I did want to read this person's tweets out because I think they complement what my blog has been attempting to do. His handle is @FortressMaxing, and his name is Ruslan. I think his profile picture used to be Qasem Soleimani, and I think we used to follow each other, but I may be mistaken. Anyways, he says, question for the online philosophy community. How does talking about the Demiurge Logos Kantian Christian essence of Hegelian Lacan Theosis Landian Hypoloop Hadiths for 10 hours a day help lower national inflation in my work week? How does your 50-page manifesto help me? A fair question. Here he is quote tweeting Anna from the former Hegelian e-girl council. The post below encapsulates everything that I find disgusting about the online philosophistry jibber-jabber slop community. Complete time-wasting, unproductive discourse for the sake of discourse, zero aims, they have nothing, they say nothing, they offer nothing, just stop. Here's another one. I don't like philosophy people. He just comes out and says it, huh? They intentionally speak in riddles and snake tongues to pose themselves as intelligent. If you cannot simplify a concept and make it accessible for the average person, then you don't understand it. A gatekeeper that laughably guards nothing. And his final one. If you really want to learn how the world works, stop reading philosophy. You're going through the wrong alley, an alley where many people get mugged of their time. And time is worth more than gold. It's something you'll never get back. Instead, pick up history and economics. Anyways, that's all I really wanted to report that I thought was interesting. Do I think this person reads my blog? No. There is such a thing as parallel thinking. And I'm happy someone else thinks this way. I may not agree with everything this person says, but the tweets that I did like were emblematic of thoughts that I've had before and written about. He just said it more succinctly than I did in my tedious, lengthy blogs. So hats off to him for bringing more attention to it, and hats off to him for coming to these conclusions on his own.